All right, well, like I said, while I was down in LA, Malia's grandpa rifled through some drawers and found some old film cameras, and he let me take them just to get them out of the house. And I was really surprised by the cameras he had, for a couple of different reasons. But, when you're 97, you've got a few of these things laying around. I've also gotten some cameras from my grandparents that they just have laying around. They don't use anymore, maybe in various levels of functioning. So I thought we'd take a look at those today, just kind of show you what they are. And yeah, if you're looking to get into photography, be it film or digital or whatever, just any kind of photography, this is a good place to start. If you've got grandparents or other older relatives, they've got older cameras that are now obsolete because of phones, take them. They're just taking up space. Might as well go to someone who's going to use them. And if you can use them. I mean, you could also be one of those guys who's like, I'm going to sell this on eBay, because you understand that film photography, like the popularity of film photography in the recent years, has pushed the prices of these things up on the used market, because some of these cameras are desirable by certain photographers. But you could also realize that the reason that these cameras are desirable is because of certain features they have that still are good today and can make good images. So, why don't you use them and go out there and make art? Like I said, I'm all about using the camera you have, the democratization of art, giving the tools to make images to everybody, which cell phones do. But we could get into an argument about computational photography and what that means and all that, but I'm not going to put you through that today. Let's just look at some cameras and see if we can get them working. All right, I'm really excited about this first camera he handed me. It's a Polaroid. I remember my family owning one years and years ago, but I've never personally used one or had any kind of instant camera. I know the Instax cameras now are pretty popular, and because that's still being widely produced, people are doing all kinds of interesting mods with the Instax film. But this seems to be mostly in working order from what I can tell. But this is a 600 OneStep, so it doesn't have any batteries. Like, you don't replace the batteries. The batteries are actually part of the film cartridge here, and this takes Polaroid 600 film, which is still being produced. And so the thing about that is it's got the battery in the cassette here. Something's going on here. So because this battery has probably been in here forever, it's probably dead. So it seems like it's not going to work anymore. It did make noise last night at some point when I replaced it, and I guess it found like a little bit of charge and everything ran for just like a second, but I don't think it's going to work anymore. But otherwise, yeah, I ordered some film, and we'll see if this still works. It's really cool. This is probably, I don't know, 30 years old, maybe more, and it's beautiful. It's a cool little camera. So we'll be taking some Polaroids. The next up, this is a camera that probably looks pretty similar or familiar to people who've watched the channel, my camera collection video. This is a Pentax Espio 140M, and 140, I believe, means that this lens can zoom out to 140 millimeter equivalent zoom. And like I said, it looks pretty familiar if you've seen this one. These are definitely really related Pentax point and shoots. This is the IQ Zoom 145M Super, and this thing, look at the zoom on that guy. So this one's a little raggedy, the lens cover. is broken off and the lens doesn't go all the way back in, but I think it's otherwise fine. I do have a roll in here that I'm working on. So this is basically just the earlier version of that. I don't currently have a battery, but the, you know, everything feels good and seems to be working. We've got Ultramax 400 in this guy right now. I can put some like gold or something in this one. And again, it needs a battery, which I've ordered, should arrive later today on Amazon. So that's cool that I got these two little cousins working together again. I imagine they're roughly the same in most aspects. It's just this goes a little bit longer than this one. Otherwise, I don't really know the functional difference between the two of these. They just look a little different, but pretty much the same. They're nice cameras. But this is really the piece de resistance. When I saw this in the box, and when I saw the box, I was like, if there's a camera there, oh my god, I'm taking it. I was really excited to see this box. Look at that, with the label on it and everything. This is a Yashica T4 micro 35 autofocus. Yeah, that's a Carl Zeiss Tessar 35mm f3.5 lens. And yeah, it's in there along with the original packaging. I took the battery out just so I could see what kind of battery it is. This is a K123, but I think it's going to work with the CR123. But yeah, this is the Yashica T4, and noticeably smaller in width and a little bit in depth as well, but roughly the same. Just look at the size of that. It's a cute pocketable little film point and shoot. Got a little switch there to open the lens cover. Lens looks to be, you know, in pretty good shape. I've just been in a box for the last 25-30 years, similar to this one. You know, it doesn't have the zoom functionality of this or this. It's just one focal length, and again, for photographers, that's kind of desirable because it's a really good quality 35mm lens. 35mm being a really standard, nice street shooting focal length. And then battery compartment just pops open right there. It says right inside CR123 or DL123, and they were using a K123, so I gotta imagine it's all pretty much the same. Got the data back, so you can set the date, things like that. Right on the back, just pops open like this. It's got DX codes, so you can't change the exposure of the film or anything. And I'm pretty excited to see this one work, because it's, again, this is kind of a desirable camera. It's up there for the point and shoot market for sure. So yeah, that's the vibes. We got these three cameras from our LA trip, and like I said, I ordered all the things. I should have Polaroid film tonight, and then I got batteries and I ordered some film for these ones, so we should be rolling pretty soon here. So I will update you as soon as that happens. Okay, well, like I said, I was waiting on the package, and here it is. There. Not a very good cut. Alright, just send me a... Does this set do not separate? Alright. What is this? Kodak Gold 200 135-24 film. Back to. Alright. Didn't get 36 exposure, whatever. Got a 6-pack of these CR123As. It's a pretty classic camera battery, and then the fastest I could get, I had to buy a 2-pack of Polaroid 600. So what are you gonna do? Well, let's start with the Polaroid. How about that? Here's the OneStep 600 right here. It's not going to focus, but that's okay. Little tab on the side, flip that open. There's a little tab right here. When empty, pull. Well, it's not empty, so we're gonna have to pull. Okay. Oops. This little black plastic piece just came off the camera. I hope that's fine. Oh, this is a triple pack. Oh boy. Well, plenty of use out of it, I hope. Here it is. Insert fill this side up. Do not remove this dark slide. Alright. For Bigfoot, apparently. That's the front tab. Wow. Well, it makes noise. Is there like a selfie mirror? There's kind of a selfie mirror deal. Okay, well, I guess I don't know how to use a Polaroid, but that's fine. Anyway, gonna have to investigate that a bit more tomorrow. Next up is this guy, the Espio. This guy needs a new battery and some film. Oh, come on. I got this yesterday. You know the best way to do this. You got a Swiss Army knife, toothpick. There you go. Yeah, we're classy around here. Quite safe, right? Cut into it. Hack it up. Lithium batteries with a knife. Which way up? This way up. Huh. That's disappointing. Did that the right way, right? Positive is positive right there. So I'll put the battery in. There's no corrosion or anything. I don't see anything outwardly that would mean this thing doesn't work at all. Oh. Oh. And now it starts right up. See that zoom? Yeah. So, oh, this, all the switches on this thing are so fiddly. Go on. There we go. So it looks like this kind of works the same way. I mean, obviously it works the same way. It's a DX code reader there. Some slight little mess right here. I don't know what that is. Let's clean that up. I hope that's not anything important and I'm just scratching with a knife. Again, we're not classy. Brand new box of Kodak's Gold 200. Isn't focusing? There it is. Only 24 exposure, but you know, I bought the cheapest you get on Amazon and same day delivery. So what are you gonna do? My little leader down there. Oops. Right there. Throw the film cartridge answer on the ground. Alright, so there's a little red line there. You just get your leader down under that. And then this little roller catches it. So, it says empty. I know it's not empty. So if I film this down there, don't want to waste all this film by exposing it. I mean, it's just not catching on something for some reason. I mean, this is Kodak film stock. This is literally what this thing was meant to work with. And a little pinch roller. We have better luck with the Yashica. It does not like this film. Upsetting. Is there something wrong on this side? Quite a bit of dust on the inner elements. Not that that's going to cause a problem, but can't hurt to clean that off. Can I get you to go in there more, possibly? Really didn't like that. No, oh, see, I probably just lost like 4 frames. Why is this one so hard to freaking do? Alright, well, I'm gonna stop trying to break this. Let's move on to the Yashica. Let's at least get a battery in there and see if we can get film in there, you know? I really didn't think it would be harder to load film in a freaking point and shoot, a motorized point and shoot, than in a film SLR. Wow, I just put the battery in this one, and the date back went to 8711. How do you set this thing? Oh, you can't even set it. It maxes out at 2019. So, oh well. Care to wind this? I assume you wind this one backwards, right? Okay, yeah, that winds it. Same issue. It doesn't want to let go of it. It doesn't want to freaking close either. Okay, we have a frame 1. Oh, that's the coolest part. Check this out. Oh, pops out like that. All right. Well, 1 for 3, I guess. But anyway, we're gonna pause there because it is after work, and I'm tired, but glad we at least got the Yashica working. I'm gonna have to mess around with the Pentax a bit more. I guess I did need to look at the Polaroids. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong there, but anyway, I will update you as soon as I can. All right, guys, it is the next day, and after messing around a little bit, I got the Polaroid to at least somewhat work. So let me show you how I did that. I fired a few test shots, and so I'm gonna have to change the pack. So right away, this is already getting expensive because I'm already on my second pack of Polaroids. So you know, do with that information what you will. But what I figured out is when you reload this, yeah, this is just empty. When you reload this, the front panel here has to be open. Okay, so this is the empty cartridge here. When I put this in, the counter said 10 pictures. I think I only got 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, I think 8. So okay, let's go ahead and do this. It's like a open up Pop Tart or something. So this top guy, this is the dark slide, and they write something funny on it and charming and kind of millennial coded. So you pop open this guy, slide that right in there, and there comes the dark slide, right? Pretty ingenious. So this has to be open to do that. So I did get take some pictures, and as you can kind of see here, these first few seemingly didn't develop, or they did develop, but there's like very, very, very fine, like light detail, or it's just completely underexposed. Even though the film is 600 speed film, the lens of the aperture and everything are not very big, not very fast. So indoor, and this doesn't have a flash, you're gonna have a serious problem. I even tried to use a video light, like an off camera, like this guy, to try and light up my scene, and I had severe issues. There is, sorry, right here, this little slider. If you slide it to the black side, that means you want the photo to be darker, and if you slide it to the white side, you want the photo to be lighter, and then middle is normal, I guess. I don't know. So I tried, you know, the first photo indoors that I actually got something. I was taking a picture on the computer screen with full lights on in my room, like the video lights I use right here, and I still only got this. So still underexposed, not a lot of detail in the shadows. It's kind of a vibe. It's kind of retro if you like that kind of thing. Which you're using a Polaroid, so maybe that you do like that kind of thing. But I did go outside and take some other pictures in full sunlight. So I'm going to show you how I'm scanning those, because I realized, oh, I've got a Canon all-in-one scanner. So, you know, the Canon Scan Utility has a photo option. Now, some people who are more experienced at this than me will tell you that if you scan a glossy picture on a glass scanning bed and it's a contact scanner, then the two reflective surfaces will cause Newton rings. It's undesirable. They don't look very good. Honestly, none of these photos that I took are very good, so I'm not too worried about that. But let's just show how we scan it. I'm gonna go throw that on the scan bed, and I'm just putting it in the middle. It doesn't really matter where it goes, because modern scanners can kind of figure it out, especially with pictures. And I'm just scanning with photo. Some people, I saw one video, a guy was scanning with document, because then you can scan multiple and select the scan areas, and it will scan them all as separate areas. And he was also scanning as TIFF files, TIFF files, and you can open those with Lightroom. I'm not doing that. I ain't doing all that. These pictures are not that good. I go and click photo. It's gonna scan. It's gonna freak your cats out for just a bit, but it figures it out pretty quickly. And there you have it. There's your scan. Yeah. So with the lightness dial turned all the way up, it's kind of overexposed and yet also underexposed. You can see there's damage on the picture itself. Let's open up another one of these. So these are just some flowers, and it's blurry, so I don't know if the lightness meter is affecting the shutter speed or the aperture or what. It's not quite in focus. Again, you can see damage directly on the photo, so no matter how you do this, you're gonna have kind of an interesting time. One more. You know, this is probably the best photo I took. Blurry, no sharpness at all. You're just getting colors and kind of vague shapes. You can kind of make out a leaf there. And yeah, a dent on the photo. Some more dents. The way they say to do this is to take the photo and put it in your pocket. So I don't know if that's the best way, because I was walking around, so probably bent the photo, dented it. So one other way to do this is if you have a smartphone, which most people do, you can go into the Polaroid app on Android here, and you can just go to the scan utility, and then it tells you avoid reflection, shoot from an angle. Okay, got it. In order to scan and save your Polaroid photos, Polaroid app needs permission. Okay, I'll give it permission while using it. Okay. And then you can just scan a Polaroid if you have a Polaroid, and it'll just scan it for you. And that's, if you're just using these for Instagram or whatever, that might be a better option for you. Rather than having to go into, say, get a scanner. If you don't have a flatbed scanner already, most people do, and they're not that totally expensive. And if you're really trying to do this as like Polaroids as real art pieces kind of thing, you might want to look into like an Epson scanner, the Epson Perfection series, something like that, and they those work really well for photos because the sensor is not a contact sensor or contact scanner. It actually scans a little bit above the glass surface, so you don't get those reflections. So again, if you want to get in depth with it, you absolutely can. You do not need to. I think for most people, the Polaroid app is specifically designed for it, so go ahead and use that. So anyway, guys, I got that working, but I figured let's take one last crack. I got another roll of film. Let's try and get this Espio loaded, the point and shoot. So let's do that. Yeah, let's try and get this guy loaded one more time. Oh, it's still gonna be fiddly to open. Because my thought is maybe it was just that one roll of film that was the issue in there. It's under the film leader area. And boom, what do you know? Right off the bat, we are on frame 1. We are loaded with some Kodak Gold. So there we go, that will do it. 3 film cameras recently acquired. And 3 loaded and working to all intents and purposes. Polaroid we have pictures, but I'm still, that's something I'm gonna have to explore and learn a bit more about how to get the best pictures out of that. But that's fun. I love having a really immediate like result to look at. Like even if they're not great, it's something, you know. So there's those. Thank you for watching, guys. I don't know what we're gonna talk about tomorrow, but I will see you tomorrow.